I'm gonna talk about stuff that really bugs me, all right? I'm gonna talk about it because it bugs me because there's a bunch of investing models and everybody's like, this one's better. And you're probably sitting there going like, I don't know what to do. Which model is good? Should I flip? Should I do multifamily? Should I do single family? What the heck should I be doing? Well, let me tell you something. We've been helping people for the last 15 years. We've helped over 1,000 people transact more than $600 million in real estate. I think we're nearing $1 billion at this point. And they've been able to increase their net worth and their cash flows by hundreds of millions of dollars during that time. Thing or two about investing. I may not be the most expert investor you're ever gonna meet, but I do know some things based on our experience, and I can tell you unequivocally, which by the way is about the biggest word that I know, that most investing models kind of suck. They're really difficult to do. Most people are not gonna succeed at them. And you know what? In this video, I'm gonna have a little bit of a rant. I'm gonna soapbox, I'm gonna get a little bugged, and I'm gonna tell you why I don't like some of the investment models. And I'm gonna tell you some of the ones that I think are absolutely pointless and some of the ones that sound good on paper, but I know not everybody's gonna succeed. And look, while I know that some people are gonna succeed at some models, most people will not succeed at most of these. And I'm gonna give you the top 4 and share my thoughts on where you should invest your money and how to get real world results. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, so the first one, if you watch any of our videos, like you know that we are sort of like a turnkey investment provider, okay? So for those of you that don't know what turnkey is like everything's done for you, right? Like you just buy a home and maybe it's got a tenant in it and then, here you go, it's done. Okay, we are done for you real estate, but we are not a traditional turnkey investor. And the first model that I'm gonna take issue with is traditional turnkey. Now, here's what I mean by traditional turnkey. I know so many vendors and so many people, and this is what they do. They have capital. They go and buy properties that are distressed. They then turn those properties to you for a profit. They are flipping properties to you. And they tell you should feel really good about it because there's a tenant that's already in place. And so they'll go buy a property with their money, they'll flip the property to you, you'll buy it, and they'll put a tenant in it. Now, I know that sounds pretty good, right? Like there's websites where you can go and you can just find real estate and, oh, look, it's all the way done for me. Here's the problem with traditional turnkey investors. Just the other day, I was listening to a podcast, and it was a podcast from a massive real estate company, okay? This is a massive real estate podcast. If you're in real estate, you can probably determine which real estate podcast I'm talking about. And on there was a sponsor of the show, and the sponsor was a turnkey investor. And I'm like, I've never heard of this turnkey investor before. So I went and I looked at their website. And I have a few rules about how to select a turnkey investor. And one of them is if you are working with a traditional turnkey investor and they do not have their Google reviews enabled, it tells you everything you need to know about their model. Because listen, traditional turnkey means they're gonna buy a property, they're gonna flip it to you, they're gonna put a tenant in there, but once they sell it to you, they have no desire to talk to you ever again. And so what that means is it doesn't matter if it's a good tenant, it doesn't matter if it's a good property. All it has to be is good enough for you to buy. Think about that. Traditional turnkey, all they have to do is sell you a property that looks good enough for you to buy so they can wash their hands of you and of that property and of the tenant, and they can just be done with it. And then you're the one stuck paying the bills. You're the one stuck dealing with the tenants. And that is traditional turnkey. If you're thinking about a turnkey provider, I can give you a whole list of them, and they don't have their Google reviews enabled, there's a reason for that, because that should be a massive red flag. This is another true story. Okay, so this is why I take issue with traditional turnkey. There's a big time website, right? And the website is like, I won't tell you the name of the website, but if you Google big turnkey investor websites, you'll probably find it. So on the website, they displayed these properties and all of the majesty of the property. How wonderful this property is gonna be and all the money it's going to make you. And so I'm looking at it and I'm like, wait a second. They had a couple numbers on this property, right? It was like purchase price, cash flow, total return. And I was like, wait a second. So I click on the button and they had a pro forma, right? Here's what they were doing, okay? They were showing you a property with a purchase price. It was a turnkey property. And they were showing you cash flow as if you bought it cash, meaning if you don't have a mortgage, right? If you were to pay cash for a property, you don't have a mortgage, so your actual cash flow is a lot higher, right? Imagine you buy a $200,000 purchase or $200,000 property and it rents for, I don't know, $1,500 a month, okay? If you pay 200 grand for that property and you don't carry a mortgage, your actually bringing in $1,500 a month of profit from that piece of property. But if you were to buy a $200,000 property with a mortgage, then that you may be renting it for $1,500, but your expenses are $1,300, so you only have $200 of cash flow. So this company is showing $1,500 of cash flow. But also, if you were to buy with leverage, then your long-term returns are far higher on real estate, because when you use leverage, all your cash is not going out of your pocket. You're letting the bank take care of most of it, so it triples your returns on a general single-family real estate property. And so they were showing returns as if it was leverage, cash flow as if it was purchased cash. And all of that just to get you to buy the stupid property so that they could wash their hands of you and say, sold another one, suck on that, fool. And let me tell you something, that is the problem with traditional turnkey. It's why I rant about it, because so many people have been screwed because they go and buy turnkey because it sounds good, but the reality is it's putting you in a whole world of hurt. So that's the first thing I'm going to take issue with, is traditional turnkey, which we are not. The second thing I'm going to take issue with is flips. Look, man, okay, there are so many shows, right? Every single freaking show on HGTV is like, here's how you flip, $1 million flipper, everybody's flipping. And I'm flipping tired of it, because here's the reality, man. This is over glorified, right? It's like, look how easy it is to flip. You just go buy a home with all of this potential equity and you put in a freaking new countertop and suddenly you're a millionaire. It's complete and utter crap, okay? The reality of flipping is this. You don't know where to go buy. What type of property should you buy? Should you buy in your local market? Should you buy in a larger market? Think about it. If you were to go flip a property, okay? This is what they don't tell you. They don't tell you that you need to know what kind of property, you need to know the numbers, you need to know how to get the financing, whether you're going to use hard money or traditional mortgage, whether you're going to get private money from an investor or not. They don't tell you how much work is going to have to be done so that you can flip it properly. You don't know how much work is going to need to be done. You don't know if it needs carpet, if it needs paint. You don't know if it needs a new sink, if it should be granite countertops, or if it could be Formica. You need to know all that crap. So you got to find the property in the right location. Then you got to find the money to be able to buy it. Then you have to know what kind of fix-up to do. Then you need to be able to do the fix-up quickly and successfully, because you probably got money from a private lender who's charging you a high interest and wants their money back as quickly as possible. So now you've got a real obligation with the flip. And so now you have to do it, hope that it's done well so that you can turn around and sell it. And now that means you got to find a buyer that's willing to pay what you want to flip it for. And all of that is supposed to just be easy? Like, are you kidding me? But that is literally what flippers will tell you.
Yeah, let's just flip homes. Here's the secrets to flipping.
You know what the secret is to flipping? If you're not an expert flipper, you're gonna get into a lot of trouble. That's the real secret to flipping, okay? Now, I know some people that have been very successful flippers, but they got that way after dozens of tries and many failures. See, one of the biggest issues I have with other forms of real estate is they don't tell you how often and prolific the failure is in order to get good. So you've got traditional turnkey that's just trying to screw you and sell you something so they can wash their hands of you. Then you've got flips that look really good on paper and it makes it sound like easy, no money real estate that you can just make a bunch on, but they don't tell you everything that goes into getting the flip done. Then you've got the third thing that I'm gonna share with you, which is multifamily real estate. Now look, I have friends that do a lot of multifamily, okay? And I know it sounds really awesome, like, oh, I'm gonna do like this large apartment complex, and I'm gonna own like 100 doors, and it's gonna be so good, because I'm gonna make so much cash flow. Okay, let me tell you something about multifamily. Most people that are doing large multifamily deals, they're not using their own money, okay? You have what's called syndicators. Syndicators are guys that are going around and getting money from everybody else. Now, the syndicator is gonna put the contracts together, they're gonna go and find the multifamily property, you have to trust their numbers, you're gonna invest into effectively a fund, and then it's gonna generate cash flow for you. So the benefit of multifamily is like, oh cool, I can spread on my risk or whatever, I'm in a building, but there's lots of doors, and so if there's 3 units vacant, there's a whole bunch more that aren't vacant, so I'm sort of like hedging my risk, right? That's what multifamily investors will tell you, but what they forget to tell you is that your money is gone, right? Here's what I mean by that. Your money is locked up in the investment, you are not liquid. You are totally dependent on their cash flow or them being able to pay you cash flow, and a lot of people get into trouble. Now, there's a lot of people that think they need to ascend to multifamily, right? Where I start with some single family properties and then one day I could do multifamily. Well, think about it. If you were having headaches on one property with one set of tenants, how many headaches would you potentially have on 100 units in an apartment building? But why do people do multifamily? Because it sounds good, because the cash flow is higher. And it's true, the cash flow could be higher. Who is managing? What are you dealing with? Who is raising the capital? Are they going to be fair? Are their contracts good? So while I like multifamily, the reality is most people get into it just focused on the cash flow, and they don't take a holistic approach to what the real estate's going to do and how it's ultimately going to be successful for them. All I want you to do is just think through this stuff so you don't find yourself getting screwed and losing a bunch of money. Now, I'm going to share a couple more things with you. What I'm going to share with you in just a second, it's probably the most destructive investment model in history. But before we get there, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for watching the video. Thank you for being a part of this family. We love doing this. There's so much good stuff that I have to share with you. So I want you to like and subscribe to the channel, okay? And I want you to share videos with friends and family because I want to give you all the hints, tips, tricks, the tactical stuff, the mindset. I want to give you everything that nobody else is telling you so that you know how to go and make millions in real estate. Millions in real estate does not happen overnight. It's not even an easy thing to do. If anybody tells you it's easy to make money in real estate, they're probably lying. It is easy to succeed in real estate over time and make millions over time if you do the right kind of real estate in the right market with the right set of conditions with somebody that has your best interest at heart. Now, if you don't have that, it makes it really difficult to succeed in real estate. But if you can find the right type of real estate and do it the right kind of way and have a team that can do the majority of the work for you, so you're not the one suffering through all the consequences of all the failure, you can create generational wealth. You can create wealth for your family. You can create millions of dollars of real estate, but it's going to take time. Here's the deal. If you want to know what kind of real estate to do, the best properties to go to, the right markets to go check out, the right forms of real estate to do, we're going to do everything we can right here on this channel to give that to you in the best way possible. Look, we've got 15 years of experience being in this world and seeing so many different models. And so we just want to give it to you. This channel is for you so that you can truly get from where you are to where you want to get to. It's our desire that that's precisely what you can do. So here's what I'd like you to do. I want you to like the video. I want you to subscribe to the channel, and I want you to share this video with some others. Now, I know that I'm probably going to get some hate mail on this video. I have no problem with that, okay? I know that I'm talking about traditional turnkey investing and like it's, you know, the demon. And I know I'm talking about flips as if it's the devil. And I know that I'm talking about multifamily as if it's the worst thing ever. And look, the reality is all of those things can work if you know what you're doing. But I'm going to share with you now what I think is the most destructive model of real estate investing that I've ever seen. And then I'm going to give you the one that is the most successful. So I'm going to give you the least successful and the most successful. You ready for it? Okay. The least successful, the one that I think has caused more burden, more headache, more frustration than any other investment model is this. You ready for it? Education. Oh no, education. Kev, do you mean we shouldn't go learn? No, that's not what I mean. If I didn't think you should learn, you wouldn't be on this channel. Here's what I'm talking about. The reason why I call this an investment model is the way that a lot of people have tried to make money in real estate is they've gone and purchased education, right? You'll find somebody that goes to the turnkey investor and buys their book and buys their course. And then somebody that goes to the flipper and buys their course and goes to their event. And then somebody who wants to be in multifamily and they buy their event and they buy their course and they pay them for coaching. And then you have somebody that wants to go and wholesale, and so you buy their course. And then you have somebody that wants to do owner financing. And by the way, wholesaling, owner financing, lease options, these are other models that I think can be successful, but I've seen more people fail with traditional turnkey and trying to flip and trying to do multifamily than those other forms, which is why I didn't talk about them in this video. But all of that is in a world of education where we are taught. In fact, they will prey upon, if you're watching this video, you may be anywhere in the world. It may be the same in other places, but I can tell you in America right now, we are literally indoctrinated to believe that education is the answer to everything. We're led to believe that the road to riches is paved with formal education. And we are led to believe that we have to go to school precisely so that we can go to college. And then we're led to believe that if we go to college and we learn all the things that we're supposed to learn in college and we do great on the ACT or the SAT or whatever it is, we can get into a really good school, and then maybe we could go take the LSAT, or we could go be a lawyer, or we could go to whatever, right? You can take the MCATs, we can go be a doctor. We're told all of this stuff, and all it is education, right? We spend a crap load of money on getting educated so that we can make more money. Well, that is a real philosophy that is embedded in the very nature of us as Americans. And so what real estate educators will do is they will prey upon that. And they will tell you that you have to buy this program and come to this event and do this thing. And they will give you so much education that you will never take action. You will be so overwhelmed with the paralysis of analysis from all of these types of real estate and all of this good stuff that could come that you will never take action. So I was at an event a couple weeks ago and had somebody come up to me. It was one of our clients. And he said, Kev, I am so thankful for Done For You Real Estate. And I was like, John, well, I'm thankful for you. Tell me why you're thankful for me. Tell me more about how wonderful I am. And he said, dude, I have been waiting for years to do real estate. And I was like, well, what caused you to wait? And he was like, paralysis of analysis, right? He's like, I have learned so much and analyzed so many things and paid for so much education that I didn't even know where to start. So while education by itself is not technically an investment model, I put it in the same category because it is education that generally opens the door to all of the other investment models we've talked about. And the problem with that is you have a ton of people doing infomercials and selling books and selling courses and doing events, and they are trying to prey upon the very idea that you know that education can be beneficial, and they will suck all of your resources. This is a real thing. I don't know if you know about this. There is literally companies that will have you go to their event knowing they have a high ticket education course, and they will have you go to the back of the room knowing you can't afford it, and they will have you apply for credit so you can afford it. Now look, there's some good people out there that probably do that, but I'll give you a real life experience of one that I was at. I was in New York. It was an event that I was at. I looked around the room. There's 100 people who all aspired to make more money. They all wanted to gain education, and I watched the presenter talk to them about how much her program was and how much it was going to cost. And then I watched her little sidekick give a half-hour presentation on how to call your credit card company in order to get more money on your credit card. And then they had a challenge. Who can go out into the hall and get their credit card company to give them the most money? I'm not saying it's bad to increase your balance on your credit card so that you could invest in something that's meaningful to you if you know it's going to repay. But sitting there knowing that 3% of the people were ever going to actually act on it and do anything, I realized that what was happening was destructive. And then they celebrated how many people got so much more money. See, if you're not disciplined, a credit card could be the worst thing on the planet, right? I was at another event and a guy did the same thing. He was standing at the front of the room trying to get everybody to get educated. And he sent him to the back of the room and he said, if you don't have enough money to buy today, here's what we're gonna do. And he had a credit guy that was there that was literally applying for people's credit cards for them so they could have credit so they could buy this dude's program, knowing darn well that the majority of the people in that room that were gonna buy that program were never gonna make their money back and were never gonna be profitable. To me, that is destructive. It is irresponsible, and it's why I'm ranting about it. The entire education industry has been predicated upon this idea that they know you're going to invest in education, and if they can sell enough of it to you, they'll make money, but you won't. And it's crap. Now, I told you about traditional turnkey. I ranted on that. I ranted a little bit about flips. I ranted a little bit about multifamily. I touched briefly on like wholesaling and owner financing, stuff like that. And then I ranted about education. So you're probably going, all right, Kev, that's all the stuff that doesn't work. What does? You may be surprised, but it's Moneyball real estate. It's hitting real estate singles. It's single family residential real estate done the right way in the right markets. It's done conservatively. It's done with utilizing something like a 30-year fixed mortgage. It's buying the right type of property in the right kind of neighborhoods with the right sort of economic conditions that attract the right kind of tenant, that's going to pay down your principal, that's going to pay your interest, that's going to be a property in a market that's going to grow and appreciate so you can gain multiple benefits from your real estate. To me, simple and conservative real estate investment with single family properties that you hang on to for a handful of years to be able to refinance and sell in order to go and grow your portfolio and to continue to do that to wash, rinse, and repeat until you get to 10 properties, that is the good one. Now, I know I'm biased because that's literally what we do, but there's a reason why we do it. And I will tell you, it is not the most profitable way to do it. There are plenty of companies and plenty of people who make way more money than we make. In fact, I'll tell you about one. He's a very popular YouTuber, as a matter of fact, and he does single-family residential real estate. And you know what he does? Is he says, hey, come do real estate with me. Give me your money, give me your credit, and I'll take half of your profits. Moneyball Real Estate is about you using your money and your credit to buy your real estate that you make 100% on. We make money as a company by assisting you. We own a mortgage brokerage. We own an insurance brokerage. We own a real estate brokerage. We make money through the transaction so you can keep 100% of the profits. That's how we've designed this company. So here's the question for you. Are you tired of the roller coaster investment world? Are you tired of hearing everything about how you should buy crypto and how you should buy Bitcoin only to see it dive off a cliff? Are you tired of trying to know, what am I supposed to do? Where do I invest? Do I do turnkey? Do I do flips? Do I do wholesaling? Do I do multifamily? If you're tired of that, look, you and I both know that real estate's a stable investment. It's always going to have value, right? Even when the market is uncertain, real estate has created wealth for those who can see the opportunity and who take advantage. It's a great way to combat inflation. It's a great way to save on taxes. It's a great way to generate cash flow. It's a great way to increase net worth. And if you don't have to be a landlord or fix any toilets or do any of the stuff that you normally would have to do that could be really frustrating, then real estate can be even better if it can be done for you. Wouldn't it be nice to invest your money and not have to worry about it for years? Wouldn't it be nice if Done For You Real Estate could assist you in getting all of the good that you want from real estate investments without taking on any of the tremendous headache or frustration that normally comes with doing real estate the right way? Well, with Done For You Real Estate and at DFY-realestate.com, that's exactly what you'll get. We do the hard work so you can sit back and relax while your money grows, while you gain all the financial benefit from real estate without taking on the risk. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to click the link in the description below. Let's jump on a call. I want you to request a call so we can talk and we can see how we can help you and serve you, how to get you from where you are to where you want to go. Because I know if you'll do simple and conservative real estate, especially if it's done for you and if it's in the right market with the right set of conditions, and you'll own it for a while and then you'll refi and grow, or you'll sell and you'll grow and you'll try to get to 10, I know that you can declare a form of economic independence and have a new life, have the kind of life that you've always dreamed of. And it can be done one property at a time, but it will take time. So click the link in the description below. Set up a call with our team to find out how you could do it and how we can easily help you enter this world and begin to do something absolutely magnificent and significant. Talk to you real soon.